Hey guys, and welcome back to Tech Genie. Now, I really quickly want to apologise. I'm very sorry we haven't uploaded to this channel in a good 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even a month. Now, the reason for this is I and my brother are both losing motivation for filming videos. It's not as interesting to film them anymore. So this doesn't mean we are no longer uploading to this channel. We will still be uploading to this channel. However, if you do want to see some other work that I've been working on, I will leave a channel link down below. That's SB Visuals. If you guys want to check that out, there's some cool stuff going on there. I'm not going to say too much because today we are going to be reviewing or having a look at the 2-year-old iPhone 6 and deciding whether it is worth buying in 2017. Okay, so before we get anywhere, I just want to tell you the price. I bought this phone for £165. I managed to get a fairly good deal off eBay. Now, this is a grade A condition phone, so it basically looks like it's just come out of the factory. So let's talk about the design of this phone. It's one full aluminium unibody, and obviously because of the aluminium, it's going to be very, very slippery, coupled with the fact it's only 6.9mm thick. This phone is like holding a greasy, buttery knife or slate in your hand. You will drop it within the first week of having it if you're not careful. Now, in terms of structural integrity, you guys will remember the iPhone 6 or the 6 Plus did have a lot of problems with bending. I've had no problem with my phone. It's 2 years old, it's second hand, and it hasn't got a bend in it at all. I do use it in my back pocket, but I have never sat on it, so I would still recommend don't sit on your phone, but personally there's no problem with the structural integrity. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the build quality of this phone. Now, this phone is 2 years old, and I imagine if you guys bought yourself a second-hand phone like I did, you're going to have similar problems. So my phone, if you shake it a bit or just using it day to day, you will feel or hear a slight rattle. Now, presumably something is loose in there, and it does become quite annoying. It kind of lowers the quality of the phone when you're using it. The second thing, iPhone 6s had a lot of problems with the phone screen actually lifting off the back of the device. Now, you can't actually see it, but you can definitely feel it. If you are to press on the bottom corner of the screen, you can definitely feel the screen clicking back into place. So looking around the rest of the phone, we obviously have a much larger screen than the previous version of the iPhone 5S. We also have the power button on the side, so that's a lot easier to reach, and then everything else is in the same places as they were on all other devices. Now, one thing I will mention about this phone is because it is only 6.9mm thick, the camera does protrude from the back. Now, this becomes an issue when you don't have a case and you just rest it down flat on the table. It does rock on that camera, and also this could damage the camera, and it's quite easy if you drop your phone that you are going to shear off the camera or you are going to damage that lens. All that being put aside, the next thing that comes to mind is the display. Now, we have a 4.3-inch display. I don't have an issue with reaching around the screen, but they do have that reachability mode that you can turn off or on depending if you want it, where you double tap the home button and the screen moves down. Now, this phone, because of the larger screen size, is a lot nicer to consume media, whether it be on YouTube or on the internet. Now, the speaker on the bottom of the phone is good. It gets very loud, and it also has a fairly good range of audio. The only problem is, along with all other iPhones, it's sticking right at the bottom, so you can very easily muffle it with your hand when you're holding it in a landscape position. Moving back towards the camera, we have an 8-megapixel camera on the back, and we also have the smaller camera at the front. I will leave all the specs on the screen of everything else of this device, so you guys can just go through that. Now, this camera, because it's only 8 megapixels, will only shoot 1080p video, but you still get the slow-mo through the software. The front-facing camera is adequate. You do get slightly grainy photos, but it's good enough for those nice quick snaps, especially if you've got nice lighting. You can get some pretty nice photos. Now, on the back you have the dual tone flash, which doesn't seem to do an awful lot. I haven't really noticed it do an awful lot, but you do get some nice photos when you use the flash on this camera, and the rear facing camera does take some really nice crisp photos. Now, the last thing I want to mention before we wrap up this video is the performance of this device. Now, this device is obviously 2 years old, and I haven't had a problem with how fast it does run. I will say when the storage begins to fill up, you do begin to feel it slightly slow down, but that's the same with every device. So if you do get one of these, I would aim for the 32GB model. So guys, would I recommend you buy one of these phones? And yes, I wholly would recommend you buy one of these phones if you can get it for below £250–200, because personally I can make this phone last 2 years, and it should be fine in 2 years time, as long as I don't smash it up or anything stupid like that. So that's it, guys. If you did enjoy this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit the thumbs up and also subscribed. And like I said at the beginning, go and check out my new channel, that's SB Visuals, down below. It'd be great to see some of you guys over there and your opinions on what I'm doing on that channel. But I will see you next time, guys. Live long and prosper.